What is your plan for drug enforcement and education?
As I had indicated, we want to start a countywide drug task force. In most counties, 80 to 85+% of the crime is based on drugs of some sort. And so one of the things we initially have to do is we've got to get the drug dealers out of the communities. It's lowering our real estate taxes, and it's causing a lot of problems, particularly for scrap metal issues as well for farmers in the northern part of the county. We've got to get block watches available. We've got to get the word out that it's risky to be in Pickaway County. And by going after the drug dealers in a more extensive way, that will do that. We will work harder with the Route 23 Pipeline Task Force. We need to put our efforts into not only going after the drug dealers, but also working on the treatment end, because we have people who are addicted to drugs, and we need the treatment options available. It's a two-front attack, and that's what I would do. Thank you.
Thank you. We've been working with the US 23 Pipeline Task Force, and we work with law enforcement to try to combat the drug problem. Approximately 90 to 95% of every case we see here in Pickaway County is related to drug abuse somehow. We need to stop that. We haven't been successful. We're working on it with the courts, with law enforcement, with everybody, but we haven't stopped it. So what can we do? One of the things is treatment, and I agree with Mr. Archer, because the lower level felonies have been mandated that those people need treatment or community control. So we don't always get to put those people in prison even if we want to. We need to have harsh sentences for those who commit the worst drug offenses, have the largest amount of drugs that we stop or that we arrest, and we need to treat those with lower level offenses. Thank you. Well, tough on crime to me means a lot of things, but I guess I'm going to tell you I've been a victim of crimes numerous times throughout my life. And something that stuck with me, I was in the 6th grade and our home was broken into, and I remember that feeling of being a 12-year-old, and I didn't want to sleep by myself for a long time. And I don't want other people to have to experience, or kids to experience, what I went through. So I think tough on crime is about taking and picking the best charge for the particular crime that we're looking at, not overcharge a crime, but pick the charge that fits the crime and ask for the sentence that is commensurate with that particular crime. Thank you.
Peter, the answer to your being tough on crime is simply this. You ask for the punishment that fits the crime, and if that punishment is not what the defendant is willing to do, you go to trial and you let the judge hammer them out upon conviction. You do not make plea deals just because you don't want to go to a jury trial. That's being tough on crime, and that's what our administration will do. Thank you.
Well, yours, but describe what a servant style of leadership would look like in the prosecutor's office.
Thank you.
1 minute.
I live by the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. And so the staff in my office will treat people with respect. Oftentimes in the prosecutor's office, as a prosecutor, you have to tell people news that they don't really want to hear. But you can do that in a respectful way and in a way that shows care and concern. And that's exactly what we would do. As a servant, as was said earlier, we are servants of the public. And so we need to be respectful for people, to people. We need to be willing to meet with them, talk with them, take their calls, even if the news we have to give them is something that they don't really want to hear. But you work hard for the community because it's the community that pays you.
Well, I think it's important to be a servant of the community, and I think you can do that in a lot of different ways. That doesn't just mean when I'm in the office. That means every day, every part of my life. I belong to a lot of organizations. I serve the community in a lot of different ways. But as a public official, I'm there early. I'm there before any member of my staff almost every single day, because I think that that shows leadership, and I hope that my staff will emulate the things that I do in dealing with people, in dealing with the public, and in dealing with the people that we have to deal with every day: law enforcement, township trustees, other elected officials that are seated here. I ask my staff to do that on a daily basis, and I will continue to ask them to do that for the next 4 years.